What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going through game week 33 in the Premier League. I know I didn't do great this week in terms of predicting results. There's always going to be those weeks where things just don't go right for you, and that just means next week there's a greater chance of me predicting them right. Alright, so check that one out when it comes out. Anyway, we start off at St James's Park, Newcastle Tottenham. I thought it was going to be a very entertaining game, which it was, but I thought it was going to be very close, and then 3-3. Newcastle won 4-0. Before we get into the analysis of the actual game, what Salah did for the deaf fans, giving them the special shirt so they could feel the atmosphere, was fantastic. Brilliant move from them. Hopefully we see more teams doing it, because you could see on the face of those young fans how incredible they must have felt being able to actually feel the atmosphere. Anything to help the inclusivity of people in the sport is a good thing, and yeah, well done to them. And Newcastle were phenomenal. You know what, I've read about Eddie Howe so much over multiple years now, and this game proves why. He's the best manager in the world. I don't care. He went to a 5 back in this game. Elliot Anderson played as a wing back. He was fantastic. Murphy on the other side as well. Out of possession, they were a back 5, and it just did not allow Tottenham any space. Maddison was suffocated. Heung-min-Son couldn't run in behind or anything. And Eddie Howe completely outclassed Postecoglou. And he did this with Elmer Kraft at the back as well. If Newcastle had the full strength 11, you know, likes of Botman, Trippier, Livramento, Hall at left back, like, this could have been 7-8-0, and it could have still been even without them. But to be fair, the first half an hour of the game was very end-to-end. Tottenham had a couple of chances, Vanna with the most clear one. Newcastle did look very threatening from corners throughout the game. They did score one very late on, but the first goal from Isak, brilliant finish, great work from Gordon. Unfortunate for Van de Ven. The second goal, again, Van de Ven slipped to allow Gordon in. Awful from Porro, that I know what he was doing. But even after those 2 goals, Newcastle had another couple chances before the half-time whistle. It could have been 4-0 at half-time. The front 3 in this game were fantastic. Gordon got 2 assists on a goal, Isak got 2 goals. Barnes didn't contribute to a goal, but he created a lot of good opportunities. And I thought he was really, really solid. And this is the first time we've seen that great front 3 play together. I hope we can see them play together every week till the end of the season now, because I think they're fantastic. Definitely one of the best front 3s in the league. Newcastle were phenomenal, and they deserve every bit of praise they got. But Tottenham Hotspur, there's not even any excuse you can use. They had their full strength team out. Newcastle were battered with injuries, and they were still completely dominated. Ange Postecoglou does have a lot to answer for here, because it looks like Tottenham do only have one way of playing. He needs to be able to adapt a lot better in games, like Eddie Howe has done. But obviously, I don't think many people expect them to be as high as they are. They did lose a lot of ground in that top 4 race, especially given what Aston Villa did against Arsenal. But obviously, there's still hope for them. They've got a very tough end to the season, though. They might start looking over their shoulder a bit. If Newcastle are going to keep playing like this, there's no reason why Newcastle cannot win every game till the end of the season. Obviously, that is going to be very tough, but 5th is not out of the question for Newcastle. Brentford against Sheffield United, I predicted a 2-2 draw. Brentford won 2-0. Unfortunately, this probably means Brentford are going to be safe now. Sheffield United just didn't really create anything too clear-cut. That is partly because Brentford defended very well. Their first goal was extremely lucky though. The cross deflected off our blast down went in. Very unfortunate for the youngster. But Brentford were the better team. They created more chances. Tony, once again, not in the 11. Maybe they're just trying to phase him out, you know. Realistically, why would they play him out? There's no reason to. If they're going to be safe, you might as well plan without him. And if they're going to play well without him, then that's just a bonus for him, because he probably isn't going to be there next year. Burnley against Brighton, I predicted a 2-0 Brighton win. Ended 1-1, and I think Burnley were the better team as well. Positive news for Brighton is that João Pedro returned. However, they have only won 1 out of their last 7 games. If you're going for Europe, that is not acceptable. Earlier in the game, Burnley should have had a penalty for a foul on Odegaard, was not given. Half-time was 0-0, Bruno Larson missed an open goal. Burnley scored in the second half, a very lucky goal, but one that they definitely did deserve, because they were the better team. And Muric, once again, howling error. He made one against Everton in a crucial relegation 6-point the last time out. He did it again here, which cost Burnley the 3 points. Trafford has to come back in now. I mean, Muric has been good, but you can't be making these howling mistakes 2 weeks in a row. He could have cost Burnley survival. If they'd managed to beat Everton last week and then they'd won here, hey, they would be level on points with Forest. Manchester City against Luton, I predicted a 3-1 City win. It was 3-1 until the 85th minute, and then my 2 boys combined twice to make it 5-1. Haaland missed a sitter in like the first minute, but then Hashioka scored yet another own goal to make it 1-0 to City. Man City were brilliant. They created a lot of chances. They took a while for them to score again, but with a belter from Kovacic. However, Luton did have chances of their own. They hit the crossbar. Yeah, to be fair, they went for it. Despite having 12 players out injured, and obviously a lot less quality than Manchester City, they were not taking it lying down, despite what the scoreline might suggest. Kevin De Bruyne played 81 minutes, which I thought was really weird. I mean, he's been quite injury prone, he's getting older. Man City were very comfortable in the game, take him off earlier. No reason why he had to play that long. On this day after Man City just went out to Real Madrid, Kevin De Bruyne had to go off in that game. If he only played like maybe 65 minutes against Luton, he might have been able to carry on the whole time against Real Madrid. Doku was phenomenal though. He got a penalty, he scored a brilliant goal after a nice pass on Guardiola where he just went straight through two players and nutmegged defender before putting it in the corner. He then got another assist for Guardiola, who banged it into the top corner with his weak foot. Them two, man. If any of you are here for my QPR career mode, you'll know how much I love them. It's really nice to see him doing well in real life as well. Long Forest against Wolves after it was a 2-1 Forest win. They drew 2-2. Wang Yi-chan returned for Wolves in this game. He came on off the bench and had a decent impact. He had a couple of chances, but Cunha scored 2 goals. First one was phenomenal. He just went straight through a couple of defenders and smashed it in the top corner. But before that, Murillo made a goal line clearance. What a player he is, man. Morgan Gibbs-White scored against his former club and celebrated in front of their fans by doing that. Brilliant. I love the guy, man. It's lovely to see him doing that. Fuck Wolves. Forest took the lead before Cunha got his second very scrappy goal, but I think Forest should be very disappointed. They were by far the better team, and they desperately needed the 3 points in this sort of game. They didn't get it. They're only just above the relegation zone still. If there's another points deduction for them, they're in real trouble. Bournemouth against Manchester United, a hugely controversial game. I went 2-1 Bournemouth, they drew 2-2. Bournemouth started the game so well, they were 1-0 up. Solanke scored a pretty nice goal. Kambala did slip in the build-up. Loads of defenders slipping over, allowing a striker to go in one-on-one. I don't know what was going on, if every pitch in the Premier League just had something wrong with it, but yeah, a good goal from Solanke, and Bournemouth just kept the pressure up. They could have been 3-4-0 up. Manchester United lost completely against the run of play before Bournemouth took the lead again through Clivert this time. But again, they had another 4 or 5 chances before the whistle. Bournemouth should have been like 6-7-0 up at half time. They were that much better than Man United. But in the second half, a handball was given for Man United. I personally think it was the right decision because Smith did kind of put his arm forward and it did hit him in the arm. It was a penalty. But I think Bournemouth should have a penalty as well. The referee originally gave it right at the end of the game, before VAR intervened and said it was a free kick. Now, Kambala originally made contact outside the box, but it looked like it continued in. But it's yet another game where Manchester United have played absolutely horrific football and somehow got away with the result. Bournemouth were absolutely amazing in this game, and they should feel really hard done by that. They haven't done a double over the Red Devils. Liverpool Crystal Palace, I predicted a 3-1 Liverpool win. They lost 1-0. The Palace goal was absolutely perfect, by the way. What a team move. I think there was 20-something passes in the build-up. Really nice move, so many players involved. Eze was in acres of space in the middle of the box. I don't know how that's even possible, but he was, and he just slotted it in. After that though, they should have been 2-0 up because Mateta was letting off. Virgil van Dijk slipped and allowed him to go one-on-one with Alisson, but Robertson made a fantastic goal line clearance. He is the only Liverpool player that deserves any respect from this game. He was trying his heart out, he was putting in fantastic crosses, he was running around the gaff, getting the ball back. He was the only person that looked like they cared out there. But every single Crystal Palace player was absolutely fantastic. Munoz was very good, Nathaniel Klein, Justin Lerma and Anderson at the back were fantastic. Mitchell had a very good game. Front three were also really solid. They went on some really nice counter-attacks. But Adam Wharton, what a player that boy is. 20 million from Blackburn. He was playing in the Championship in the first half of the season. Honestly, I wish there was a bit more time to go until the Euros because I would have him on the plane. I don't think there's many other players like him in the squad. Obviously, he could be a good cover for Declan Rice, or he could play as the 6 while Declan Rice plays a bit further forward, but I think it's quite clear he's better. Unfortunately, with the lack of time before the Euros and the fact that he has no senior international experience, I don't think he'll get the call up. But if he keeps playing like this, who knows? In the second half, Liverpool missed some absolute sitters like Nunez, Salah, Jota. There's so many, Curtis Jones. But Palace had chances of their own. Mateta had a sitter as well that he missed. This was a really entertaining game despite only being 1-0. And Palace were good value for their win as well because of how well they played. I think next season for them could be really exciting if they manage to keep hold of a lot of their players. Obviously, the likes of Eze and Elisa have been touted for bigger Premier League clubs for quite a while now. Adam Wharton, I think he will be there next season because he's only just signed. But it won't be long before the likes of Manchester City or Arsenal are like, we'll take him. And for Liverpool, I think they're probably out of the title race now. Obviously, there's always hope, but I actually think their fixtures are much harder than people are giving them credit for. Like, people think, oh, they got the easiest run-in. No, they don't. This is probably the easiest game in their run-in, and they fluffed it. West Ham United against Fulham, I predicted a 3-2 West Ham win. Fulham won 2-0. Wasn't expecting Bowen to still be out for this game, which is why I thought they'd actually be able to score a few goals. The first chance of the game actually fell to Antonio really early on. And I think West Ham do definitely play better with Antonio, but in front of goal he isn't great, and he fluffed his lines. He blasted a shot over from about 6 yards out. Another Mavropanos mistake allowed Fulham to score. Andres Pereira got 2 goals in this game, and they were by far the better team. Fabianski had to make multiple saves, and there were really unfortunate scenes at the end of the game. George Earthy collided with his teammate Edson Alvarez and had to go off with a really serious head injury. I believe he's okay now, which is really good news, and yeah, hopefully we can see him balling out next season. Very promising player. Really poor result for West Ham after their midweek loss to Leverkusen in the Europa League. As I'm recording this, they're due to play in like an hour and a half. It's going to be very unlikely that they are going to be able to overturn the deficit, especially considering Leverkusen haven't lost all year. Now, I would say they could be hungover after just winning the Bundesliga, but I don't think Alonso would allow that. I think they want to win everything under him. Arsenal against Aston Villa. I thought Arsenal were going to win very comfortably. Aston Villa won 2-0. I do think Arteta got the team selection wrong. Havertz in the midfield is not good. Declan Rice is better as an 8 than a 6, and Jorginho has been fantastic. I don't really understand why he was dropped. In the first half, Arsenal were the better team. They were dominating the ball. They were pretty much camping outside the Villa box. Like, they were very, very much in control of the game. Havertz made some good runs, but I think Smith Rowe in that role would have done much better, or Rice in that role. I feel like they're more able to make those runs out quicker as well, and they would have potentially created more dangerous opportunities. The only real clear-cut chance in the first half came when Ollie Watkins hit the post and somehow it didn't go in, and then a minute later Arsenal went up the other end. Trossard had an open goal pretty much, but Martinez somehow got across and saved it. That should have been the goal, and if that had gone in, Arsenal probably go on to win the game comfortably like I predicted. But in the second half, Arsenal were toothless. They did pretty much nothing. Aston Villa did really well. Tielemans almost scored a worldie before Bailey got a late goal, and then Watkins sealed it with a really nice chip. Aston Villa now in prime position for top 4. Given how the English teams have done in Europe this season, it doesn't look like 5th place is going to give you Champions League. As I'm recording this as well, Villa are actually losing 1-0 to Lille. So if all of them are out in the quarterfinals, that is actually embarrassing. But yeah, it looks like Tottenham are going to have to settle for Europa League, because they've got a very difficult end to the season, whereas Villa don't. Now, I know I said I don't think Liverpool can win the title because I think the games are quite tough. I think Arsenal can. Obviously, they've got a couple tough ones, Man United away, but I think they should be able to win that. Tottenham away, which is one I do think they'll drop points. But if they can win that one, then I don't know, because I think City's end to season, they've also got Tottenham away, but they've got Forest away, which I think will be a really tricky one for them. But they are also at the Champions League, so you know they only have one thing to focus on now. Obviously, they've got the FA Cup, but finally Chelsea against Everton. Now, before I know I got it wrong, right? If any Chelsea fans want to cut me, yes, I got it wrong. I've been calling for an attacking midfield trio of Mudryk, Palmer, and Madueke, with Gallagher and Caicedo as the 2 central/defensive midfielders for months. I said this in September. I said it again in pretty much every video in October, November, December, January, February, March, and even this month. Yeah. Every video I say, I don't understand why Enzo Fernandez is playing. He does absolutely nothing. Get him out. He's a liability. He is tragic. The one game Pochettino actually listens to me. I'm being a bit egotistic here, yeah? The one time he does what I tell him to do, look at it, bro. They dominated Everton. Everton are a really solid defensive team. They had the 4th best defence in the league before this game. 6 goals. Cole Palmer, 4 goals. Phenomenal player. But yeah, Pochettino, what are you, fam? I would have Chelsea in a title race. Oh, it was so obvious. I don't know why it took him so long to drop Enzo Fernandez. But to be fair, with all that being said, at the start of the game, Beto had a huge chance. I hit over somehow. If Everton had taken the lead, the game could have gone very differently. Yeah, Cole Palmer, what a player Palmer is. I don't even care what anyone says. He is so clear of Foden. He is miles better than him. He actually turns up in every game as well. His first goal was fantastic. The way he just nutmegged Brown White, quick flick around the corner, finesse shot from outside the box into the far corner. His second goal was a really nice sort of poacher's goal. He ran into the space where he knew the ball was going to end up and scored. Third goal, miles out on his right foot. What a strike. And then obviously the penalty. With that penalty, I mean, it was a bit embarrassing. Like, obviously Palmer's a penalty taker. I can understand why they had a bit of a scuffle there. I don't think it's as bad as people are saying, because they were 4-0 up. Madueke hasn't played a lot. It would be nice to see him score. Jackson's obviously a striker. Maybe he wants to increase his confidence. He scored a really nice goal early in the game. But now Palmer is in a golden boot race, and I feel like they should have known that, so they should have let him take it. But yeah, he did take it. He scored. Alfie Gilchrist scored his first Chelsea goal as well, former QPR Academy player. Don't know how I feel about him going there and scoring. The way he celebrated. It's nice for him, obviously, boy, a Chelsea fan and everything. But more bad news for Everton is that Branthwaite and Patterson both picked up knocks in this game. Hopefully, it's nothing serious because they are crucial, especially Branthwaite, to Everton's survival chances. Yeah, that's what I thought of the game. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below, and I'll see you soon for another video.